and I give it just a second because my obs likes to load up slow. There we go. Good morning, good evening, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind in 12 FPS. My name is Dewpie Kirin. Today we are going to be playing, well, not playing, but the name of this FPS is System Rebook. And today I'm going to be playing a funky little robot, Porridge. You may have heard of them on occasion. They're having some issues at the minute, but they're sorting that out as best they can. Anyway, about me. With my wonderful, beautiful, fantastic new friend that I have attained, would you like to introduce yourself and your character?
Thank you very much. I love you too, Dew. Uh,
Yeah.
sorry. My name is Katie, and I'm playing my wonderful idiot Lore. He's got he's got emotional intelligence. That's something, right?
mean, I mean, considering who Law has previously met, that's probably for the
Necessary.
best. We
Yeah.
need one of those. Really do need one of
The
those.
problem is he's got super low wisdom, but it's fine. We'll work it
It's
out.
okay. It's okay.
It's just funny.
You don't gotta be wise. You just gotta like know people emotionally,
Oh no,
and then they all,
I just think it's
all
funny because
think for
he's
you.
really bad at the perception/investigation checks to check on people.
Oh, just you wait until you find out what Porridge's perception investigation are.
Oh
This could be fun.
no. Okay,
Okay.
let's go.
Anyhow, did you have an idea as to how this would start, or would you like me to take the reign on this one?
Well, I can say that Laura was probably walking around and eventually finally found some sort of knick-knack shop and definitely like made a beeline for it. So he's most likely already in there looking at things.
Neat. Do you wanna? Okay, if you're doing that, give me a second. I've got to roll something.
Oh boy.
Um, hey, can my character sheet load up? There we go. I forgot this was what. Let's not roll in the nuts and bolts. Let's roll in the proper zone. Discord, can I roll? Thank you.
No, you're not allowed to
Can
roll.
I roll me a perception?
What about what?
Would you like to roll me a perception, please?
Oh, perception. Oh, my mortal enemy. there you
It's an
go.
11.
Yep.
Alright. You come into this shop, and it's kind of like a typical knick-knack shop. There's a whole junk ton of there's just stuff everywhere, a lot of weird stuff. There's like a bookshelf on the right, stuffed full of like books of all sorts, shapes and sizes, different shading types as well. Like it's some look like they're worn flat. Sorry, not worn flat, UPA flat. Some look like they're just thick, heavy tome books, Francanelli style. Um, but around the room, there's just weird stuff. There's a weird machine that just keeps sliding like little beads across this like an abacus. It's just non-stop moving beads. It just seems to go on its own like just constantly. There's a weird like seesaw swing kind of looks like a paperweight kind of thing sitting on the table. The table itself is like an old work, like old oak kind of deal with a little cute little decal in the middle of like green floral patterning. Um, there's just a junk ton of stuff in here. And if you look around, you don't see anyone. And there's no one at the counter at the back of the shop. And the door at the back behind the counter doesn't seem to be open. So, uh, this is kind of weird.
Lore has never been in a shop like this. He's from a town of less than 50 people, but he is ecstatic. But he is confused that there's like nobody in the store because he's pretty sure that's not how stores are supposed to work. But he is definitely enjoying everything in here very much. He's definitely checking out the books and like really hoping to find one that's like in a language he can read.
Okay, cool. Let me just roll something quickly. Um, well, actually, I need to roll a couple of things. Where is your stuff? Oh, it's only that. Okay. Okay. All right.
How could you
And then
even?
roll this. Okay. So, Law, you walk over to the bookshelf. You probably feel like a weird kind of breeze go by you, as you walk over, but it's probably like the wind left over from when you open the door and close the door. It is a little chilly outside at the moment, so that's probably it. Or maybe there's like a draft from one of the wood panels coming through the floorboards. You don't know, but yeah, you're at the bookshelf now. There is plenty of titles to choose from.
Are there any mystery or detective novels?
Roll me investigation.
Okay. Oh no. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a clinically bad roller. No matter what it is, I have bad luck. I don't know if you know the restaurant. Probably not. It's Costa Vida. Anytime I get anything from there, they always mess up my order, and I find it really funny. They always put cilantro on it, and I'm like, no.
She said no cilantro.
I'm just like, guys, I can't do it. It tastes like so. It doesn't even taste like soap to me. It just tastes bad. 15.
That's pretty. That's decent. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So proud
Yeah,
of my
so you
boy.
proud of Law, baby. I love them. Um, so Law, you're scanning the shelves for like detective novels and like curious cases and such. It takes a little while, but you do spot a few old books. Which I mean, with that 15, you're not super sure if they're like first edition. Some of them are a little beat up. Like some of the actual covers on them are like a little ripped. Um, and some of the stitching is worn, and it's like when you have a book that's been propped open for too long and the actual binding on the back's just kind of loose.
You
There's
hurt
a few of
me.
those. Look, I had a book like that I got from my nan, and it was like a bird on books.
Oh no,
A
I'm
book on
familiar.
birds.
I'm very familiar with them. But I am also the daughter of a printer and a cartographer like Lore, and it hurts.
Oh, Law's little heartbreaks. But yeah, you definitely find a few detective and murder mystery kind of books. Some, hmm. Yeah, no, you just find those, and now I'm gonna roll this again. Yay! That's what I wanted. Hey, Law. I will also say with that 15 that you rolled, you
Mhm.
see there's also another book on the shelf. It looks kind of odd. Like it's a thick book. Kind of I want to say it's like a dictionary, but it's more so that the actual cover and binding. If you look at it closely, it looks like the cover and the binding are thicker than the actual contents of the book, which is kind of weird. But I don't know how exactly books do that, but yeah, that's a very thick cover and back for a book that seems to have not a lot of content.
Lore just looks at it suspiciously, but also like with stars in his eyes, and he's got like the places where the other mystery books and detective novels like bookmarked in his head, but he definitely takes this one and is just like, "What the flip is this?" and starts like he's definitely gonna open it and try to like suss out what's going on.
Okay. You look down at this book. I just imagine you look down at this book and then Lord like look around whilst he's looking at this book, like look up.
Nope, he's in tunnel vision mode. That's a book. He loves books.
Cool. Um Law, you're gonna see something sweep across your eyes very quickly.
He's definitely gonna
Just
look
something
up.
if you look up, just hovering over your right shoulder, uh there's a tune just kinda hovering there, looking between you and the book, and you and the book, and you and the book.
I didn't ask how big porridge is.
Porridge is 2 foot 11. They are small.
Oh, baby. Yeah, Laura
Yeah,
is.
they're
Oh, let me see something really quick. uh,
good.
okay, Lore opens his eyes wide, but he doesn't get too startled as tunes keep seeming to do this to him. And he's like, "Oh, hello. Did you?" He like closes the book and offers it to his new little friend. Did you want this book?
uh, this strange tune, which I should probably describe to the audience. It's this strange tune has like three weird nubbins floating off from a central body, and a long snouty kind of face. It's all very circular and ovular, and what appears to be like a weird little finny antenna on their head, just like a weird kind of round stick. Um, and it looks down at the book, and then it looks at you, and holds two of its nubbins out, and just very slowly puts their nubbins under the book, and pulls it out of your hands. And they look down at the book, and then at you, and they tilt their head to the side, and Law, you hear, "Hello, new user." By
What?
the way, if you can't understand what I'm saying as porridge, please
Oh
let
no,
me
I
know.
understand. That was in Laura's just
Yeah.
like new user?
Yes, you. And they point out with the nubbin at the bottom of their body, just boing, points at you, and two exclamation marks appear in their eye, which were for a moment like just little blue dots with four arrows pointing inwards. And they wiggle their little antenna and say, "Yes, you are the new user. What is your name?"
Well, my name's Laura. What's your name? But what do you mean by new user?
Uh, you're you're gonna see this creature kind of hug the book to their chest with their two nubbins, and then you're gonna see a little pop up screen come up. It's like two white. It's like it's like a white border. It's basically like a holographic screen with a blue background, and you're gonna see in text just scrolling across this screen. You're gonna see new user added. Actually, I should probably type down what you see. You see, you new user added. Username. Um, User added. Username. Law. Is what you see, and you see also that. My brain's being a bit slow at the moment. You're going to see also that porridge just nods. This is porridge, by the way, for people that don't know it. I said it at the beginning, but just in case, they just nod and say, "Very good. You are a new user, user of the porridge unit. Therefore, we take records and log you in, make you new profile." And they show you the message that they have summoned, and it has it's weird. There's a picture of your face, and next to it is just username law, just there on the screen. It's very strange. I will say the picture that is being shown next to your name looks like it was taken literally about 2 seconds ago. It's like a side profile view of you looking at the book.
Laura's just kind of like surprised and like he's not like upset or anything. He's more of just like he's never met a tune like this before or seen anything like this. He's from a really like classic rural D&D town, so he's just like looking between the screen, looking back at the tune, like kind of like sweat mark, like, oh, okay. And then he's like, do you does that mean we're friends? You said your name was Porridge? W- uh he just kind of like trails off confused.
Porridge is just gonna like ding, their little nubbin on their head just points up, and you hear them perk up and say, "Affirmative." They do a little happy twirl before pointing back at you with their bottom nubbin and saying, uh, "The porridge unit is a friendly, helpful assistant for whatever you need to do. You need assistance, new user."
Well, this is Lore talking. Hmm. I mean, there's nobody at the counter, but I was interested in some of those mystery novels, but I am glad to have a friend. If that's okay with you, I would love assistance with just being a friend.
You want to roll me insight quickly? Because Porridge just tilts their head to the side. 15.
15.
Dang. Game of 15s. Uh, you see Porridge kind of tilt their head to the side, and you see a question mark appear in their eye. They appear a little confused, for a moment before they look back at you and say, designation, Porridge, designation, friend.
Yeah, designation friend. You know what friends are, right?
There we go. And I don't actually have the definition, but Porridge essentially just rattles off the textbook definition of friendship. Um, like, if you type that into, like, I don't know, Wikipedia or a thesaurus, essentially.
Me looking up the definition of friendship so I can.
Frantically looking up definitions.
Me being like, where is Google? Oh my gosh. What are
Please.
friends?
Define friend.
What are friends? Yeah, it's like the emotions or conduct of friends, the state of being friends, a relationship between friends, a state of mutual trust and support between allied nations.
Gosh, it's amazing.
Lord is kind of
What
like
is a friend?
he's.
Google, what is a friend?
Oh my goodness! I'm just.
Probably Google doesn't know what a friend is.
And I'm just,
Man.
oh man, I get so upset when they use the word in the definition because I'm like, our teacher said not to do that.
Yeah, that's a bad no-no because
Mhm.
that how do you define a word by its own self, if that makes
Freaking
sense?
oxymoron. Anyway, Laura raises an eyebrow, like, hmm, and he's just like, well, yeah, that's the definition of a friend, but you know, a friend is also just somebody who cares about the other person.
Or it's just gonna pause at that. The little kind they've kind of been like rocking backwards and forwards, and looking at the shelf. I'm gonna roll actually because you did say you wanted help with something. Nice. They're just gonna look backwards at the shelf, and they've kind of been rocking side to side in the air, floating next to your head. But the rocking seems to slowly come to a stop. Look at you and say, "If porridge is a friend, a person that cares about others, then porridge is friend of many people." And we're gonna see Porridge put the book behind them on the table and reach out to the shelves and just pluck out about 4, 5 novels, put them in a stack, and then just pop them on the table as well. I look at you and say, "These should be very good novels."
Laura looks at them, kind of like excited, and he's like, oh, do you know any of these books and have any recommendations? Like, what do you like to read?
Let me just roll something. Okay, cool. Porridge shakes her head. Negative. Porridge does not read. Porridge has no need to read unless it is new information. Everything Porridge learns is stored in Porridge.
Oh, well, does that mean you know these books already? Because, I mean, stories are new information and they're enjoyable.
Porridge stops and nods slowly. Stories are meant for people. And they are just gonna lean over and you're gonna see like a blue light come out of their eyes, and you're just gonna see like the classical holographic scan over each book. And I did roll a history for that. That's a 12. This is just to see how much information Porridge recalls about these books. And they lean back and say, "Some of these books have received good reviews in newspapers recently. However, the condition of these books is questionable."
Yeah, I kind of saw that they're questionable. Laura smiles, but also looks a little concerned. Books are for people, but books can also be for everybody, especially stories.
Porridge just kind of nods their head, and I'm gonna roll another perception for them because they are looking around the shop now. That's what I thought. They're looking around the shop, but then they kind of get distracted. They seem to like drift around towards the counter, and then they slowly drift towards the other side of the room, where the abacus has not stopped. Just whilst we've all been talking, just in the background has been that clack 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 noise of the abacus moving the beads on its rungs by itself, and Porridge just seems to be a little distracted by it, and they look like they're gonna start floating over.
Laura's just gonna quickly look through the books, and here I'm gonna just roll investigation, and maybe you can tell me if there's like a good one.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You probably find
Bean.
maybe a good story, but it's in horrible condition.
Oh yeah, no, it's one that's got like a bit of a book horror story. It's got the actual. It's a hardback. The front of it is actually bent in half. Like the cover is bent in half. The inside of the book, it's got water stains, what look like tea and coffee stains. There's like a rip between one of the pages that's been like glued or sellotaped together. Um, but you look at this, and this book does seem to be a first edition, even if it's not in perfect condition.
So it's like a
And
horror mystery kind of deal.
um, it's not a horror. It is actually it's a mystery. But it seems to be more of a how do I describe this? It seems to be more of a cold case history. Like this book is old. Quite a bit old. It seems to be about 50 years old. Roughly, if you had to guess. It is kind of hard to tell because of the condition. It looks very old. And if you flick through and you kind of squint at the pages, it seems to have like little lists of cold cases that have just kind of been written about and left unsolved.
Making some notes because I want this book. So it's it's less of a story and more of like a record.
Yes, it is a kind of record. I will say the other books you picked up are more like classical story novellas kind of deal. The maid murdered the butler, who murdered the lord, who murdered the madam, but the madam was secretly alive the whole time and orchestrating the whole thing kind of deal.
Hmm. Laura's just gonna be like, so you can read every page even if it's difficult.
Affirmative. Reading is no issue for porridge. I'm just gonna roll a quick thing for porridge. What is your wisdom? Okay, it's +2, it's not bad. Ooh. Cool. Porridge has kind of drifted over the table. Actually, I'm gonna roll another thing for that to see how well they do that. Yeah, they don't knock anything over. They kind of like tilt their body to the side and up and around. Some of the knickknacks on the table go through a hoop, like a little hula hoop, before they go out the other side, to the other side of the room where the abacus, which is still clack clack clacking away, and just stare at it for a long time.
Laura's gonna wander over but keep the book, as he's really hoping that maybe he can get it repaired or something. But then he's gonna like look back and see if there's any other books that look like maybe something he can afford and look like a decent story, and pick one of those up too.
Fair enough. You can roll me investigation on that if you want. I will
Ye-
also ask you to roll me a whiz save.
oh no.
You come over towards the abacus.
Oh dear. Okay, so here's an investigation. Oh dear.
Oh, oh dear.
Yeah.
Find a lot of books. They're in a lot of poor condition. Some of the titles you can't read, or some of them are just things that aren't of particular interest. Perhaps they're just like pulpy stuff. I'm not sure what books law would consider not interesting or not worth reading.
Yeah.
But
Those don't look like something you'd actually grab, so he's probably just gonna like look at them, maybe quickly put them back, and then
I
wander
just
over.
imagine I just imagine Law reaches out to try and take a book off the shelf, and he just slams his hand into it because it's just flat. It's 2D. It's a UPA and shelf with all the UPA and books, and they're just flat. can't take any out.
He's so confused and just kind of puts the book back and like squints and like tries to poke it and is like shakes his head like he just does not understand and keeps his book of records and wanders over to the abacus. And I have to make a whiz save,
You
so
have to make a listen for me.
oh, I just a straight d20, buddy. Oh hey, yay!
Oh, damn. You said they rolled low. Look at you. You have no issue coming into this abacus.
I rolled a 4 just before this.
True, but you rolled well when it matters. You come into the abacus and you kind of stare at it, and then maybe you look over at Porridge, and Porridge seems kind of entranced by this thing. Their eyes, their hold on the book is still pretty firm. Both of their nubbins are wrapped around the book, holding it to the central part of their body, but they are staring very deeply at this abacus.
Laura's gonna look between Porridge and the abacus and Porridge and the abacus and kind of wave his hand in front of Porridge like, hey, little guy, Porridge, right? You good?
Hello, username Lore. This item is very, very interesting.
And I'm gonna roll this. Where is your thing? Let's roll this again, actually. Hey, wonderful. With the hand wave you make in front of their face, you just see the antenna, which was kind of parallel to their snout, just across the back of their head, just ping, ping up, and you see their head just do a quick shake, for turning towards you and say,
Oh, apologies. It seems that the abacus is a very strange item.
and I'm gonna roll this. Okay. Porridge points towards the abacus with its free bottom nubbin and says,
I believe it is enchanted or cursed of some description.
It is enchanted or what? Sorry, what did you say?
no, that's fine. It's enchanted or cursed.
Oh, Laura's gonna like, he sweats hearing that it might be cursed and like tries not to look at it. Um, he's also gonna look at Porridge and be like, you don't have to call me username Laura, you can just call me Laura. Oh, something you should know, it seems like you like new information. My name is Laura McGuire Parif, but you can just call me Laura.
Can I roll a history on that name?
Yes, you can.
Oh. That's crazy.
Yep, okay.
Oh my gosh. You see this tune kind of pause, and then you see a searching new user thing out, and then you see a blue circle start to rotate in their eye like tick, 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 tick. And with a nat 20 on history, hey Katie, what would Porridge learn about Lorem this way?
Well, well, that's a 25. So, definitely recognize the last name Parif as some sort of. Porridge would remember that there is a place called Parif Presses that is a print shop that is fairly well known for printing important documents in a different country, but also works for different countries. It's a relatively new country, probably only like 100 or something years old, and they had a settlement program where they would try to get people with skills that they were interested in or whatever to settle rural areas of this new country, to try to spread out the population a little bit more. And Parif Presses moved to one of those towns called Ordinal Point, and it was the first family to settle it. That was about 25 years ago, and Porridge would know that lore is probably associated with those Parifs. However, Porridge, for the life of him, or is it him, they?
Hey, it's just they.
Sorry.
That's good.
They cannot remember where it is. It's a place called Ordinal Point. They cannot remember where the country is or the town or anything about the location of this place.
You know, considering what's going on with Porridge at the minute, that would actually track. That they can't get certain information.
It's because lore's
But it's-
cursed.
I know Laura's cursed, but also Porridge has memory issues.
No, baby.
Like they struggle to remember stuff sometimes. You were just gonna see that circle go in their eye for a little bit, and then you're gonna see a ding as a like a green check mark appears in their eye. Then it phases back into green, back into like blue green eyes, and they look back and you say,
Oh, why? Huh. Why from Ordinal Point, correct?
Laura looks really surprised that somebody here knows what ordinal point is because it is so remote and not super well known. And he's just gonna like raise his eyebrows like, oh, you know ordinal point?
Affirmative.
Porridge nods.
The porridge unit has access to many data files.
Laura's eyes are gonna sparkle like, you know all sorts of information? That's amazing!
The porridge unit is not amazing. The porridge unit is here to be helpful.
You can be helpful
And then-
and amazing.
I'm just gonna roll a quick thing there. Oh, Porridge kind of. Yeah, you're gonna see this. Porridge just kind of like starts to vibrate a little bit, before settling down. You can kind of see that the vibration, didn't seem to be like a bad thing. At least you don't think so, but you do see that the tail that was pointing suddenly appears at the back and just starts to. It seems to like wag like a dog tail.
Oh. Laura's gonna pick up like, oh, new information?
Sorry, say that again.
Laura's like smiling at Porridge and then like just says like, oh, new information? Like Porridge is happy to get the information that you can be amazing and helpful.
This information is not new. However, it is not often, if at all, relevant or applicable to the porridge unit. The porridge unit is made to assist and serve.
And Porridge, whilst they say that, is gonna kind of look over. Did Law pick up the books, or did Law put them on the table?
Laura is definitely still holding on to his book specifically.
Okay. Porridge is gonna kind of look over, and you're gonna see their head just raise up from their central body and look down across the room at where you left the other books. And then they're gonna turn to you and say,
Were the other recommendations not satisfactory?
Oh, no, they were fine. They were just a little bit too damaged for me. But thank you for your help. It was perfect.
You can roll a quick insight there if you want. Porridge is still just staring at these books.
17.
Dang, okay. You kind of see.
Oh, wait, no, that's insight. That's just a flat d20, not my plus 2. I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's still a 15.
Oh, 15. Well, that was a...
No, we'll take the 18. We'll take the 18. You kind of squint at Porridge, and you have just only met this bot, but you can kind of see, like, little nubbins around the book tighten very quickly against their chest. And you see the tail nubbin that had been wagging just stops, and the antenna that was, like, perked up just slowly lowers down before it's pointing parallel to its snout. Then it turns back towards you and says,
The porridge unit is needed to. Porridge unit needs to assist.
and they pop the book they were holding in your hands on top of the book you're holding very suddenly. I don't know if you wanted to roll anything to catch it or if you just want it to happen.
I can, but let's see. What would that be? Like, do you want me to roll
Dex
athletics?
save?
Dex save. Let's see what
Athletics.
that's a plus 3. Oh, please, my boy. Yay! Dirty 20.
Handle it just fine.
He catches that book
it's-
so good.
Your instincts for book care kick in. You're just like, oh, I'm sorry, I have this like image in my head of Law just running around the printer shop as his siblings just toss books to the left and right, or people just like not flinging books because that's not responsible to do in a printers, but it's just like a hectic madhouse, and Law's just like, you know how you stick out like one leg and both your hands and your head to catch things?
Yes.
I just imagine Law could do that.
Yes. Yes, you can. I totally accept this. This is now canon. But yeah, there's a reason lore is
Wonderful.
strong. Printers are hard to use.
Printers are hard to use, and when you have to carry books on your head whilst your hands are full of more books and your arms are carrying books, and also one of your legs, you have to hop with books balanced on the end of your toe, dude, you kind of get like you kind of get gains from that. But anyway, anyway, Law, you now have two books, and Porridge has zipped over towards the bookshelf again, and I'm gonna roll this. Um, Station 18. You're gonna see Porridge just kind of squint at the shelf, which appears as like the four arrows around their pupil, just zooming in on the pupil. And then they're gonna hold out all three of their nubbins, and you're gonna see them just plonk them against the shelf. And gosh, it's funny I mentioned that. Hey, do you want to roll me like you want to roll me a few want to roll me athletics again?
Oh,
Because Porridge is just gonna look at books very quickly
oh
and then
no.
chuck them over their shoulder, caringly, to try and find some more detective murder mystery novels for you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for letting it be athletics, please, Lord. My baby. Yeah.
I think you're
He
like,
has a +8 and he got a 10.
gosh, damn. Damn.
This is what I'm talking about.
Oh, buddy. Um, okay, so this isn't entirely Law's fault.
I mean, I
Because
can
Porridge,
roll with advantage, but it's funny if he fumbles.
if you want to roll again, let's see if you get a nat 1. That'd be hilarious.
That would be
Um,
hilarious. Oh. Is it bad if I hope I get a nat 1?
No, nat 1s are so fun. Oh, you got a 23. Which I suppose fits considering what we just described. Yeah, law instincts do kick in, and some of the books kind of get thrown low, and we can't help but have like one thing get knocked over. It's like a brass scales seems to have like a etchings in the pans of them. One's the feather, and one seems to be an anatomical human heart. You know what that's about. But
Concern.
don't worry, it's fine. Anyone that knows what that is, finger guns. But yeah, you do actually manage to catch pretty much most, if not all, of these books. To be fair, most of these books can't actually get any more damaged. And also they're toon books, so anything you do drop just kind of boing, bounces back up and lands on the top of the pile
Laura's
that
so
you're holding.
confused.
Hey, Laura, roll me a strength save.
Oh my gosh,
You got
strength
more
save.
strength than me now.
Sorry,
You've got
what?
like books balanced in each hand,
If he
and
messes
you've got like a
this
stack
up.
on your head.
Oh my
I'm gonna roll
gosh.
perception for porridge.
Please, buddy.
Wonderful!
Please. Please, Laura. Yay! It's a 20. It's already 20, but it's a 20.
Yeah, again, Law, you are used to like balancing books. You do just fine. Porridge just is kind of muttering
Must find, must fulfill objective, must fulfill objective.
as they just kind of scour the shelves. Don't seem to notice what they've done at all. They are hyper focused on fulfilling their task.
Laura just like
Everyone listening,
straight.
I rolled a 2
Oh
on perception.
Laura just has like the straight line face, like holding these books, and it's like quickly like shuffles them into one stack and sets them down. Takes the two books that he had before. He has no idea what was in the book that Porridge like they were looking at before with the thick binding, but the tiny amount of info.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Roll
Oh.
me an investigation with advantage on that, or a
Oh.
history with advantage.
Oh, yeah, what's my history? I think my history is good. He's a fighter, but I gave him the sage background, so
Pat you.
yeah. Okay, what is my history?
Or an arcana if you
Yeah.
want, actually.
Oh, what's my arcana? They're the same.
History or arcana.
It's a +5, so please, lore. This is
What one are
history.
you rolling?
This is
History.
history.
Okay, okay, 14. You have, I mean, it takes you a little while whilst you're squinting at it because it's probably been a while since you or your family have dealt with this specific kind of thing. Maybe like once or twice when you were younger, you had you have had some of these be requested to be very specially printed from like very private kind of clients, very hush hush kind of deal. Um, you've seen this kind of book before. It's not the same binding or anything. It's not the same color or shape or type of book that you've seen be made, but it's kind of the way it's put together. It's hard to explain. It might be something to do with the binding. It might be something to do with the very subtle gold inlay etched around the front of the cover that weaves around to the spine and around to the back and just circles the edges of the book. And you kind of squint at it a little bit, and you can almost if you flipped it open, you would look on the left side because sometimes people write this belongs to this specific person on the inside of these books. And if you do that, you can see that, oh wait, this is huh. You can't make out what the name is, but this is someone's grimoire. This is an arcane grimoire, specifically. Um, this thing has just been sitting in the shop shelf for a while. Yeah, you got an arcane grimoire on your hands.
Lore sweats, knowing that he does not have a good history with magic, but he's gonna hang on to that because he'd rather have it than someone else. But he's also gonna look at Porridge and be like, Porridge, Porridge, Porridge.
Roll that again with advantage. Come on, porridge, baby. Come on. Do your worst. Yeah, so that's ready! And you call out porridge and they just freeze. You see the antenna that was lying flat just point up, swivel around. Look at all the books I'm gonna roll an intelligence. I've gotta check, do they realise this? Do they realise this? Do you, buddy? Yeah, they do. Kind of look at the book stack and they look at you and says,
Oh, you have organized all the books. Oh, that is very good and very helpful. Thank you very, 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 very much, Lord.
and they just ding, 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 clap all their little nubbins together. And Law, you're gonna hear appear next to your ear like a little noise, and confetti come out of nowhere. Just seems to cover you.
Just confetti. Lore's just like, oh, yeah, like he doesn't say this, but in his brain he's just like, tunes, right? But
just like this.
I just imagine Lore instinctively organize the books in like not necessarily what is it, Dewey Decimal System.
Oh gosh, that's beautiful.
Oh,
Oh,
stupid
so
idiot.
softly.
But he's gonna like, he still has his 2 books and he's gonna look at Porridge and be like, oh yeah, no, you're totally welcome, but no, totally mission fulfilled, you helped me, like you're good, like thank you. You did you want help with anything?
At that, they kind of pause. And you're going to see their nubbins slowly lower back down to hover at their sides. And they just look at you, Law. Blink, blink a couple times. Speaking up.
The porridge unit is self-sufficient. We do not require assistance, but thank you for your offer.
Laura's immediately going to just look like eyebrows down over eyes, not like just no. He doesn't say that, but he's just like, nobody's actually completely self-efficient. Even if you think that you are, porridge. I'm sure there's something that you got problems with that you would want help with, and that's okay because friends help friends. You should know that. It was in your definition.
Give me just a minute.
Sorry, I'm just imagining this giant stack of books next to Laura. Laura is like 6'6", and it's like nearly his height. For those listening, I think Dew's roommate had to come in real quick.
Sorry about that. I had someone come in.
Yeah, no problem.
That may happen again in a moment. But anyway, could you please repeat what you said? I
Yeah,
completely
no
forgot.
So he's gonna look very skeptically at porridge and basically be like, well, porridge, everybody has nobody's completely self-efficient. Everybody's got an issue that they're gonna need help with, and friends help friends. I mean, that was in your definition.
Porridge kind of nubbins kind of start to like whir, like in like it wasn't the smooth motion that it was moving in before. They kind of just seem to like a little bit as they move around, and the antenna on their head seems to like flick from side to side to side to side to side to side to side, a little rapidly, like a little kind of thing as they move around, and they continue on saying,
The porridge unit is self-sufficient. We are. If in need of repairs, we can seek out an admin.
Seek out a what?
an admin.
An admin. Laura kind of raises an eyebrow, being like, like in his head, like, you need an admin. And he's gonna look around and quickly set down his books, and like, he wants to hug Porridge.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop you.
So he's just gonna hug Porridge and be like, hey, do you know where your admins are? 'Cause it sounds like you might need a little of that help.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, give me a sec. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm gonna feel the vibration get a little stronger as Porridge doesn't try to move away from you, but they do just kind of like you hear like a low noise coming from your arm, and it you can feel them vibrating as you give them a hug, and they continue on saying,
The porridge unit is self-sufficient. The admin location is unknown.
Laura's gonna kind of like not hurt them but squeeze them a little tighter and be like, alright, do you know how to get an admin? If you don't have if you don't have one now, can you make one or something? How are you able to get help if you don't have one?
at the make one, you just feel like a furious shaking, like their head just shakes against your chest, and your cheek probably gets like tapped a little by their antenna as they shake their head.
No. You cannot make new admins. Only admin.
And I'm gonna roll this. There is that. Cool. Okay. Hey, you don't have to roll a perception for this. You can kind of feel, um, there seems to be like little bits of sparks coming from porridge, like just at the bits uh their where their nubbins join. Well, not join, but it seems like they have like little connection points, like anchor points, where the nubbins hover around the body. You see sparks go from between the nubbins to the main body and between the head to the main body, and you just hear like little. Nothing enough to shock you, but there are sparks coming out.
Lord curses an infernal. um, he like looks around and then looks back at Porridge like, okay. And in his head he's like, why does everybody in this freaking country can't deal with emotions? um, in his head he's just like, every time I try to talk to somebody, they like break. And he's gonna
You
look at.
followed a very specific path, Katie.
I know, but I was also laughing because like that's Laura's only experience.
Gosh, I'm so sorry, Law.
Yeah, Laura's just gonna like hold out Porridge and be like, hey, no, it's okay. But consider the fact that, oh gosh, oh please don't break. Laura just hesitates for a second. Your information is contradictory. You don't want help because you're self-sufficient, and if you're broken, you have an admin, but you don't have admins and you can't make new ones. So how are you supposed to get help?
Porridge pauses. All the vibration stops. There is silence for a little bit. Now little Snoop kind of raises up and points directly at Law. Their antenna, which was pointing flat down towards their back, slowly raises back up again like a little flag. And they say, give me a second. They say,
Porridge. Porridge will find admin. Admin will fix. Porridge. Porridge is not broken. But porridge requires maintenance.
Laura's
Porridge cannot self-maintain.
just gonna look kindly at them and be like, you said you can't make a new admin though, and you didn't have one. So how are you supposed to find one? And if you need maintenance, I mean, you can be self-sufficient and still need help from people.
Porridge just looks away from you, and they look at the books on the table, and they slowly start to float over towards the
Laura's
grimoire.
Laura's still holding them.
Oh, all right,
Like
okay.
they kind of held them out in their hands. So like if they try to move away, Laura will like let them go. But I just think that's funny. Like their nubbins and heads start to float away, and then Laura's like, "Oh right, body, let's go."
I mean, they're not gonna move out of your grip, but you are just gonna see the nubbins kind of start to move away and then like around the towards where you're holding the grimoire as well. Um, and Porridge is just gonna, man, what are you gonna do here, buddy? Um, Porridge will look away from you and they will just.
Porridge is a friendly, helpful, helpful, helpful bot. We are friends too many. However, we are not good friend if we need friends to fix. Friends do not fix friends. Friends fix porridge.
And I'm gonna make a roll here. Um, let's see how this goes. Oh, not super subtle. You probably do feel one of the books you've got holding on starts to like slip a little bit in your hand.
Laura did set them down to hug Porridge.
Oh, you have set them down. Okay, I was confused. I thought they were still being held in.
No, you're good.
Oh man. Okay, so Porridge is just gonna reach out with the nubbins then, and they're just trying to be subtle about it. And maybe Laura's distracted by Porridge, like Porridge's head at the minute to notice what the nubbins are doing.
I
But
can
they
do
are slowly.
perception.
If you want, go ahead.
Woo! Yeah, he's distracted.
Yeah, it's probably you don't notice until you see out of the corner of your eye like the edge of a book come towards you. Not towards your face, but float just in Porridge's nubbins towards Porridge. You look down at they look down at the book, and they look down at themselves. They look up at you, and they say,
Porridge unit is self-sufficient to an extent. However, it's
and they just dunk dunk tap on the book.
this shall assist with some repairs before we can find an admin.
Laura looks back down at it and is kind of like eyebrows. He doesn't say it, but like, oh, and then looks back at Porridge and thinks for a second about kind of the things that Porridge said, and then he doesn't get angry or frustrated, but he does look like not necessarily upset, but like concerned, and says, hey, friends don't necessarily have to fix friends, but friends support each other, and that can mean, how to say this? He kind of looks off to the side and taps the book on his chin. Porridge, you're allowed. It's okay. New information input, so to speak. You can get help from friends, because friends help friends. That is in your definition. Your information is contradictory.
Friends do help friends. However, the porridge unit is self-sufficient and does not require assistance from those that are not admins.
I'm just gonna tell you now, Katie. We're gonna be in a logic loop with this critter for a while. You could just when I look at this little bot, and you realize they're not probably not gonna budge from this.
Laura's gonna say one last thing and look at Porridge before he gives up, and it just says, okay, he kind of thinks again. Porridge, you don't have to get this right now, but I hope you do eventually, because, I mean, you said you're friends to a lot of people, and you said friends help friends, and so I know you're probably not going to get that, but you said you were friends to many, and friends help friends. So, he looks at the grimoire. Maybe I can help you with some of your maintenance.
Porridge pauses, and they slowly look over at the grimoire, which is being hovered in front of their eye, by their face. They tilt their head, look at you, and they say,
The porridge unit was designed to assist everyone in small tasks or big. We are friend. Porridge is not designed to befriend. We are designed to assist. And whilst porridge is a good friend to many, porridge may not have friends.
and as Porridge says this, you're going to see that little blue light shoot out of their eye again, and you're just going to see the arcane grimoire that was kind of hovering in the air just sort of seem to dissolve very slowly as the blue light washes over it.
Laura's eyes just kind of go wide, and he's like, oh, like, I can't do anything about this. Like, he just looks like that. But he is going to look at Porridge and be like, well, then I do need assistance with something.
Porridge kind of can't react to that at the minute until they're like finished scanning this blue light over the book, and by the time they finish scanning it, the book's gone. Um, and Porridge's eye is just gonna see a doop 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 ding. You're gonna see a little exclamation mark in their eye, and just gonna hear a voice say system update in progress. Weapons updates in progress. And a little number appears in their eye. Number 1. With a little percentile mark next to it. And they look at you and they say,
Porridge can assist as best they can whilst they are updating.
Lord kind of looks happy that they're. He doesn't know exactly what updating. Like he knows what updating means, but he's like not sure what it means for porridge. But he's like happier at that, and he's like, "Well, I need your assistance, letting me assist you."
okay, let me just roll. I'm gonna roll. I guess it'd be an intelligence save here. Because that's a logic loop.
Yes,
No,
it is.
no.
Lord is a logic loop.
Don't. You probably tilt their head to the side, and you're gonna see like a brief second, you're just gonna see like the eye, the number in their eye, like seem to phase into 3 for a second before flashing back. Not the number 3, like the number 1 repeats like in 3 segments. Before it solidifies and it ticks up to 2, and Porridge nods and says,
You require assistance in being friend.
Not quite porridge, but I mean I would like to. But something that would make me really happy and would be really helpful, and Laura kind of smiles, would be if you let me help you, because that is something that makes me very happy. And if you want to be helpful and make me happy, I want to help you. He kind of puts his hands on his hip. That's the thing I want to do most right now.
Porridge tilts their head to the side again. Look around the room. I will say, as you've been having this conversation, no one has appeared in this shop. Abacus is still clacking. The scale on the table is still flipped over. Porridge just looks around the shop for a while and then looks back at you and says,
You wish to assist Porridge in their objectives?
Lord kind of looks in, like his own loading screen mentally and is like, yes.
At that, you're gonna see the little flag on their head just do like a little happy semicircle, like a phew phew, and you're gonna see very briefly across their face before or across their eyes before it settles back down to the percentage number. You're gonna see that little pointy uppy face very quickly appear in their eyes before they stop and say,
Oh, yes, that is a possible objective. Okay,
and they're gonna pick up the book that you looked at, and they're just gonna head to the door.
Lord's like, do we need to pay for that? It kind of follows behind Porridge quickly.
Porridge stops, and just before they exit the door, they turn around, they give you the book, and say,
One moment.
and then they're gonna fly over to the counter, and this is where I roll for the fumble. Yeah, cool. You're gonna hear like a rattling noise and something clink onto the counter, and Porridge is gonna say,
We thank you very much, Shaw, for appearing today and giving us good books. I have a pretty butterfly scale. That is all. Sorry about the shelf.
and Porridge is just gonna slowly float back towards the door, And you're gonna feel like 3 points of contact on your back, kind of like pushing you. Um, so just kind of ushering you out the door.
All I can see is like the like Lord just being like skidded across. um, very
Just heels
confused.
up, toes off the ground, scooched. Actually, should I roll a strength for that?
You don't have to.
Because
It can just be real funny, but you can try. I don't know what the DC would be though.
it's fine. I say with a 13, they like kind of prod you, and it's just kind of like a wobble for a second before they stop. And you hear
Okay, more gusto.
and they just. You hear like a tire screech noise, like a. They kind of just shove you out the door that way. With a poof.
Lord kind of stumbles and then looks back up like, what, you didn't have to pay for it for me, but thank you. What do you, the shop appeared? Lord just kind of looks confused at what's happening.
Roll perception.
Oh, glory. Okay.
Not going to be a high DC.
Oh no, I know, but I'm just worried about my Lord. Oh yeah, see, this is what I mean.
Buddy, you're too distracted. But for everyone listening, if Law had noticed this, the shop's gone. The shop isn't there anymore. It's poof, gone.
I
Door's
will
gone.
say
It's just a blank wall.
to kind of to kind of add to that. Laura's so used to being lost that his surroundings don't make sense. Of course, he probably didn't notice the shop disappearing.
I hold this boy. I hold this boy. I hold this boy so softly. But yeah, Porridge is just gonna like scoot you out, and once you're out, like around the corner, they're gonna stop. And then you're gonna feel like two little weights on your shoulder, and then another heavier weight on like your left shoulder as Porridge pops. Actually, no, you know what? No, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna take those weights off your shoulder, and they're gonna like phew, twizzle around the front of you, and they do like a little twist, and they say,
Okay, let me,
and they're gonna like go up to your chest again and turn their back towards you with their snout facing forwards, and look up at you and say,
to the name Lord, would you mind, holding porridge for a moment?
Oh yeah, of course, buddy. Laura throws the book in his backpack carefully, really quick, and then holds porridge.
"Cool. You're not gonna roll perception for this because I don't trust your perception, but you're gonna hold Porridge, and it's funny. Porridge kind of Porridge feels kind of like a little cold, but there's an undercurrent of heat coming from the metal. It is metal, kind of, or something. It doesn't feel. It feels very strange. It's whatever porridge is made of. It's very smooth, but you feel that smoothness kind of start to slowly shift out and fade, and it starts to feel a lot like softer and fluffier and uglier, and you also feel like strange little lines come up, almost like stitching. Um, if you look down, or if you're completely watching this process, you're going to see Porridge cast Alter Self, and Porridge has basically turned themselves into a teddy bear version of themselves.
Laura
They're
looks.
holding a Porridge teddy bear.
Laura's just like kind of nerve wracked, like what just happened. Laura's not used to certain kinds of magic, which is kind of hilarious. Because like I've said he didn't grow up around magic, but it's because he didn't realize it was magic.
I hold this boy.
But he's just gonna look down at Porridge, be like, you okay? You okay, buddy?"
There's that one on insight. Porridge just looks up at you and smiles and says,
The porridge unit, it's fine. However,
and then they just look back forward, look around, and look up at you and say,
so, the name Lord, what else do you require to be done today?
Oh, Laura kind of thinks, and he's just like, well, I didn't necessarily have. He kind of shrugs and looks away, like, I didn't really have plans per se. I kind of was just he tried. What happens if he looks back to try to see the shop?
I mean, if you're just gonna look back, I'm not gonna make you roll perception again. Yeah, shop's not there. Shop's gone. It's just a blank wall.
Laura's just gonna kind of like meh, and be. uh, I don't know how many languages Porridge knows, but he definitely cusses in like 2 different languages.
Ooh.
Just like, just like,
Just check something.
yeah, it's like no mission Elvish. She's just like, ah.
Gosh, let me just check something. Because there is a thing Porridge can do. I just need to see if it's oh, that's an hour to do. Never mind. You are gonna notice that a little text box pops up. And in the written languages or in the languages you just spoke, you're gonna see like the written version of that appear across it. Not translated. It's still in the original language we're speaking.
Laura
But-
looks so guilty.
You're just gonna see that pop up, and then you're gonna see translation in progress with another percentage underneath it. And then the message window's just gonna pop away.
Laura like, wait, no, no, no. Swears again. Never, don't record that. Oh, it looks down like, like, oh, I swore. Like he doesn't say this, but just looking down at the floor, like I swore in front of the robot.
You swore in front of the robot. So shame. Gosh, I mean, or she's just gonna kind of look up at you and say,
You need assistance getting home.
Laura looks really soft and a little nostalgic / sad at that. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say no to help, but I don't think, Porridge, I'm cursed not to find home. This might be a little more than you can help with.
that you're gonna see as as much as a teddy bear can look, you're gonna see like Porridge's eye used to be like kind of tiny little circles. They're not like they're like the bead eyes, with like the colours kind of sealed in the bead. You're gonna see them look up at you, and if you could imagine a teddy bear looking determined, this is a very determined looking teddy bear looking at you and saying,
The porridge unit fulfills all tasks. The porridge unit will assist Laura in getting home.
and,
Okay. Oh, yeah, you go on, sorry.
no, it's okay. Just gonna say, yeah, you can definitely tell they are very, very serious about this.
I don't know if you ever read Corduroy, but I just imagined that teddy bear looking determined. It was very funny. Yeah, Laura's gonna look concerned, but then sigh and be like, okay, I'll make you a deal. How about you can help me after you find an admin and get your maintenance?
Porridge. Porridge shakes their head. And then they shake their head a little and look back at you.
The porridge unit prioritizes user's needs over the porridge unit needs.
But what if I want help prioritizing your needs?
You don't roll insight, you can see that this robot is getting very frustrated.
All these poor
You just
idiots.
feel like you just feel like 3 separate thumps against your body, like one on each side of your chest and one in your abdomen, as Porridge just thumps their nubbins against you, which doesn't feel like anything because they're affecting teddy bear right now. Just look at you like,
No, porridge helps user first. That is what porridge is made to do.
Oh boy.
you're holding a bot that is on the verge of having a tantrum.
Laura just kind of smiles at him, them, and just like sighs like, okay, you win, you can help me. Ooh, I don't know, He kind of looks off in the distance, and mentally is thinking like, I keep meeting people who want to help me, which is great, but oh my goodness. um,
You got involved with this. You're
yeah.
gonna have people to help you. If
No.
you offer your assistance, you're gonna get assistance back.
I know, I'm just laughing because it's just like, he's just like, why are the people offering me assistance so emotionally broken?
Oh, buddy.
But he's just gonna look back down on at porridge and just be like, okay, okay, what to do? Do you? He thinks for a second, trying to figure out how to phrase this. Do you know any detectives?
Oh, gosh. You know what? I'm gonna roll this. Just gonna roll this straight.
Yeah, Laura's trying to figure
Okay.
out if he knows Camille or Azumi.
Um, that's interesting actually because you're gonna see the numbers in their eye has risen up to like 30%. And you're gonna see it flash again to the blue circle and the doop 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 doop. And I'm gonna have to roll something here because let me see. Okay. Um, you see that little blue circle come up in the eye, and you do you want to roll me a quick perception again?
Oh boy.
See it, buddy. Okay, never mind. You think for a second like something happens. Sorry. Sorry, I had a yawn. You think something happens with Porridge's eye for like a hot second before it just you probably imagined it. It's probably fine. Before Porridge's little antenna just flips to the side, ding ding. Um, shots.
That's the porridge unit knows a few detectives. There is username head detective Moria. Is the little bird Reginald and the detective detective Minnie Ton.
Oh, what was that last one?
Uh, Trini Ton, but it's pronounced Tiny Ton, but Porridge just mispronounced it.
Yeah, so Moria, the bird was who?
Reginald.
Who? Sorry, can you read it?
Reginald. That's okay. Reginald is they were in the very first AI game. They're played by Launch. They are very fun verbs. They're absolutely not XPs of the birds from Hat in Time. Um, yeah. So you've got Triniton, Moria, and now Reginald.
Yeah, so Laura remembers hearing about Moria, and he kind of perks up like, oh, do you know Camille?
Hmm. Man.
I'm sorry, he's an idiot. He's gonna ask if his friends know his
That's
friends.
fine. Oh man, that's good. You're gonna see another loading bit come up, and um, then you're gonna see a little X appear in their eye as they look to you and say,
No records of a Camille exists in Origins database.
Laura's just gonna kind of smile and laugh breathy, like, yeah, okay. I guess he tries to stay out of papers. Well, he knows Moria. I think they were his guardian. But I have two detectives named Azumi and Camille who offered help too. So if you ever see them, I guess you can compare notes. Do you know the man in the box?
the minute. Okay, firstly, the minute you say Azumi, like Porridge's whole like nubbins just start to like do what seem to be like happy little swirls. Like little swirls, and you see their eye once again does the like happy little up arrow. And the antenna on their head just starts to twirl, 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 twirl as well. They look at you and say,
Oh, you mean username Azumi Dere? Yes, yes, yes. We know Azumi Dere.
Gonna type that
Asumi,
for you.
what do you say after that? Oh,
Azumi Dere.
oh, like tsundere? Oh no! Laura's just gonna kind of perk an eyebrow at that and be like, Azumi Dere?
Thank you.
Of course not.
Why do you call him Dere at the end?
Porridge pauses, and then kind of seems to look off across the street where a few Pian tunes are just kind of wobbling their way in the background. Some of them aren't even actually moving. They might even just be part of the background. You don't know. Sometimes UPAs just phase into the
He
backgrounds
is
of things. It
colorblind.
happens.
That makes sense. He cannot distinguish color.
I pat them. I pat Law. Porridge anyway looks away and they say
The, the username was changed.
Oh, did Azumi change it or did someone else?
Someone else.
Oh, people can change other people's users' names?
Hmm. What? Hmm. No.
you can roll insight if you want.
I would love to. Please be okay. That's a 6.
I mean, it's very obvious. Porridge's nubbins aren't whirling anymore, neither is their antenna. They just kind of cock their head to the side. They look a little confused before they shake their head, looking back at you again in excitement and say,
Yes, we do know Azumi Dere. Oh, you are a friend of Azumi Dere?
I mean, he said we were friends, so I sure hope so. He laughs. But he also is like, does that mean an admin changed the name?
gosh. Gosh.
I'm sorry, he's stupid. He's gonna
No,
ask the
it's
question.
fine. It's good. Porridge kind of pauses and you kind of see their eyes squint and they just shake their head again and they say,
No results found. No search results found.
and whilst they're doing that, again, you're going to see a message pop up next to you. It seems to be not as solid as before, but you are going to see in the blue holographic image, there is now your profile picture, which is of you looking down at the book, in the Knick Knack shop, and then there's going to be a picture of Azumi, just kind of a profile picture, and it's going to say friend request sent, for and underneath, like, there's going to be like a little dotted line between the image of you and the image of Azumi, and your names are going to be underneath. And then between your names, underneath the dotted line, it's just going to say pending friend request. Before it pops and disappears.
Laura's like, like internally, just like, oh man, I hope he's fine with that.
Who else can you later see how that goes down?
Yep. Laura just like laughs nervously. Uh, cool. Yeah, no, we're definitely friends. I do like him. Do I have one more friend that well, I guess there's Seeker and Amber, but do you know the professor?
Ooh, ooh, okay. You don't have to roll anything for this. You see, I should have asked Oatmeal because I don't think they've actually shared their names yet.
Oh
In
no.
the by design FPS.
If you need to ask
Uh-huh.
Oatmeal first, that's okay.
I don't actually know if Oatmeal's around at the moment. I don't think they are.
Oh, like later,
So-
it's okay. So like,
Nah, yeah, it's fine. I'm
Porridge
just gonna
can-
roll something here.
yeah.
19 and an 8. Well, I'm gonna go with the 13,
Mhm.
because that was at disadvantage. You're gonna see Porridge kind of freeze, then gonna like twitch to the side, and they're not gonna answer that.
Laura kind of raises an eyebrow, but says, Okay, I'll have to ask him about that later.
Okay, let me just roll this. Um, you feel porridge shift in your arms, and for some reason you don't know why. Maybe you've had to do this with your siblings before. It feels like the guilty squirm of a kid that knows they've done something they shouldn't have.
Laura, like, oh no 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 no, it's okay, it's okay. No, it is good to keep friends' personal information secret sometimes, even if. Yeah, no, you're okay, porridge.
Porridge pauses and then just slowly nods. I'm gonna say I rolled a 5 in deception. You can kind of get the idea that wasn't exactly why they were squirming, but who knows?
Laura just like,
Um,
oh boy, definitely ask Professor about that.
I will say also, as we've been walking along, Law, you've just kind of been walking aimlessly through the streets.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Um,
They're very lost already.
yeah, no, there's been a lot of people that have just been side-eyeing you and then looking at the bear in your arms, and their eyes just kind of soften, and you just hear like a couple of people go, "Aww," as you walk along.
Laura's just gonna be like smiley. I don't know if you've seen this boy. He's wearing like flowers and a hat.
Oh,
Have oh, I think roommate came back in.
sorry, yep. Someone else came in.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Like, here, let me really quickly brain work. Uh,
Okay, cute.
Yay.
I think you're just saying that Law was smiling at people as they were walking
Yeah,
along.
no, he's very smiley, but I wanted to like give you uh an example of what people are seeing
Oh,
holding a teddy bear. Uh because
oh, okay.
um because
Oh
they
boy,
just
this is good.
see they see this outfit on a 6'6" uh man child holding a teddy bear.
Oh, that's excellent. Oh, that is absolutely excellent. Everyone is cooing at this man. They're cooing at this man in their beautiful yellow flats and his wonderful purple get-up. Oh, that's
He has no
adorable.
idea what color it is. I also forgot he does have little blue earrings. I forgot to add them on this picture. I just realized.
It's fine. Oh,
He does
wait,
not know
Law's
the
color.
colors. Hmm?
Oh, Law's colorblind. Okay.
Yeah.
That would make something interesting.
Ooh.
Um, Actually, this does actually make a lot of sense, in some ways. I do have to ask, I don't know if this is something you want to say on recording or if it's just like nothing at all.
Hmm.
Can Law see any color or shades of color?
He can distinguish like value, so he can see like light and darks and everything. So like if there's a darker color, he knows if it's darker, so he can see contrast,
Okay,
but no
it's going
color.
to be interesting then. Do you roll me a perception with advantage then, please?
Oh dear. uh Perception with
This is basically
advantage.
me tells Katie to roll the game.
There we go. I mean, I like rolling. So there's one, and there's
Ooh.
the other. Ah, natural
Oh,
20.
oh, that you missed the D, my dear.
I missed the D. Dang it!
It's the
I got
D
really excited.
that you.
Nope. Yeah. No, it's a
Yeah, that's
19
amazing.
because that was a
Well,
4. Whew.
kind of been looking at porridge this whole time, which does explain why you're getting even more lost. You look down at porridge, and they seem to be lighter. Not literally lighter, isn't carrying them. They're still a teddy bear and all. The shades of like shade of them. I forgot to mention this earlier. For people that don't know what porridge looks like completely, porridge has like stripes of different color
I
around
can
their snout and
I
then a
can share the
zigzag
rep
pattern on their body.
if people are interested later. I guess this is just audio though. I just realized that. I'm so sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, oh, you're good, man. But yeah, they have like a zigzag, a zigzag around the central body bit, and then they have like a band each on each of their nubbins, and then two bands on their nose and one on their antenna. Um, a different color to the main body. And Law, you're gonna see that color start to lighten. Um, uh, I mean, I don't know if you would know what that means, or if you know. I don't know if Law would notice or
Lore,
think that would mean anything.
Lore has gotten used to that if something changes tone that maybe something's happening. And so he's a lot more prone to asking questions if he notices. So he's just gonna like perk up and be like, "Oh, are you changing color?" Just like dragging that out because he's not sure.
Bridge stops and blinks, looks down, looks back at you, and says,
The update is in progress.
And as they say that, again, you're gonna see like a very slight tint towards the brighter edge of the spectrum. As for people that don't know, porridge at the moment is like a steely greeny grey with yellow stripes. That is slowly lightening back up to their normal paintwork of blue and red stripes. They are a different color, and now with this little update, their color is going back to the usual. Yeah.
Lore's just like, was that part of the color change or he kind of just trails off because he's like not sure how to be like, I'm colorblind, did you change color?
Roll insight. Can they notice that?
Insights.
I'm gonna roll an insight on you.
Oh, okay.
See if they notice that.
You can have, oh yeah,
That's
never
20.
mind.
That's about 20. They immediately notice, you seem a little unsure about that. You're gonna feel a little soft, very soft fuzzy nubbing just kind of do the thing. You know when you like form a fist and you like rub it between like your cheekbone and your chin and just like massage your cheek. Porridge is doing that with their nubbin against your cheek law. They're looking at you and tilting their head and saying,
Does not have issues processing color.
You should also, that was insight. Does Porridge know Sammy?
No, Porridge does not know Sammy.
Ah, okay. Well, Porridge, with that insight, definitely would ask about the color thing, but would also notice that I mean, they are definitely like 100% sure that Lore is human, but they have bright purple eyes, which is kind of unusual for a human. And Lore's just gonna laugh, kind of like, you caught me. Like, yeah, no, I'm colorblind, Porridge. Sorry, I guess I should have mentioned that.
Oh,
And Porridge picks up. Can I roll a medicine to see if Porridge can get any more information?
Oh yeah, no, go for it.
Oh, it's a 6. That's excellent. Wonderful. Thank you, Porridge.
I mean, he can
Porridge.
have advantage if he wants because this is a human with bright purple eyes. There's probably something going on.
5.
Yep, no, that's
5
less.
or
Never
6.
mind. Yeah, no,
Porridge
no
knows
idea.
nothing. They look like they're gonna go and look it up on their system, but then you just hear like this system update, which is now probably about like 75%. And they're in the middle of the system update where it's gotten to the point they can't actually do any more researchy bits. So like things of like history or medicine or look up roles are going to be done with disadvantage because they're still in the system updates at the moment. At least they're nearing the end of it, which means they're taking up a lot more data and stuff to process. So they're just going to shake their head and just going to like,
the porridge unit did not realize that you are afflicted with perception difficulties.
Lore's just gonna look like, like frustrated at that, but like not angry, just like, I mean, I guess you could call it that. Just like called out, a little bit defeated. Just, I guess it is like perception difficulties, like in his head.
you're just going to gentle pat against your cheek, and Porridge is just going to like look at you very, very happily, and that little antenna's going to wiggle and say,
The porridge unit is here to help. You do not need to see all colors. You can see what you see. You are sufficient in not seeing colors. No. You do not need colors to see.
No, I don't need colors to see. And Laura just kind of smiles happily and then remembers, the thing is Laura is Lore, and he's already told so many people this. He's gonna be like, oh, you like new information, right?
Primitive.
Yeah, do you want to know why my eyes are like they are? He kind of smiles.
Sorry if I keep yawning on recording.
No, you're fine.
Porridge just kind of like they can't do their normal thing at the moment, which is like their eyes would just kind of do like a happy swirl and swivel. You're gonna feel like a rhythmic thump 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 as the nubbins just kind of like thump against your chest and your abdomen as they look at you and say
Yes, 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 yes.
just on repeat.
Laura's gonna chuckle like very deeply and happily. Just all right. He's gonna kind of like stop for a second and lean against the wall and just smile down at Porridge, like, and hold them up a little bit so they can see their eyes, and be like, "Okay, so you know about ordinal points, so you know that I'm from a family of cartographers and printers, right?"
Primitive.
They nod their head.
Yeah, well, that makes things a little easier. Well, then you know that they work with ink, right?
Primitive.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, when I was about, let's see. Well, so you know, I just turned 18, but when I was 6, there was an accident and I got ink in my eyes, and it was enchanted when it wasn't supposed to be, and it kind of messed with my eyes. And so I lost the ability to see color, and I'm told it turned them purple.
Porridge is just gonna pause at that. I'm gonna roll this. Let's see how well this goes. As a 17. You can roll a perception if you want.
I can
That was
try.
a slight-
It's
Oh,
a,
you don't see it.
it's yeah.
For the audience, message has appeared above Law's head, and there is like a little note section, like a private note section. This is like I suppose admin access is the best way to describe it. But it's basically like private notes on the users, and going in like there's like a medical section, and Porridge is just taking note of this and making sure that they have recorded this in your username and your login information. Well, not login information, but in your in their archives. So they are keeping this information, making sure they remember it. You don't know this.
Nope,
This is
he
just the people
doesn't.
listening.
He's okay. He's a himbo. Don't just let him be stupid.
Let
Yeah.
him be.
Yeah, Laura's just gonna kind of smile that Porridge is so happy to have new information and just like wait for Porridge to say something.
Porridge is Porridge. I don't know. Like you don't know why, but Porridge seems to look above your head for the like 5 seconds, before they look back down at you, and they're gonna inquire.
Has anyone seen to treat your eyes?
Oh, He kind of raises an eyebrow when Porridge looked up, but then just kind of goes back to neutral, happy face. Like, well, I mean, I got checked out and stuff. It just there wasn't anything that they could do. So, yeah. I mean, I don't really mind. I mean, I was already cursed, so like, what's one more thing, right?
Cool. The minute you mention curse, you're gonna see the antenna on their head, which was pointing straight up, just point directly at you with like a boing sound effect. The minute you mention curse, and Orange's eyes, which are now at about 90%. The nine and the 0 get wider, like the circles that make them up get wider, and then shrink back down. They look at you and say,
You are also cursed.
Lore just kind of like looks surprised and leans back for a second before just kind of like, he thought he'd mentioned it, but I guess like Porridge didn't. Maybe Porridge thought it was like a phrase or whatever because he said he was cursed to never go home, but he figures that maybe that could have been in like an idiom maybe, and thinks for a second, like his face gets confused as he looks up, like maybe I gotta work on, like he internally he's like, maybe I gotta work on how I say things.
I will just say, that is just Porridge is having a system update at the moment, so they cannot actually process a whole lot at the moment.
Hmm.
So too many points to address at once will just they will follow one path and then probably forget the other.
Hmm.
That's absolutely not me not being able to remember things.
Oh yeah, no, I figured, but this is just Lore being his wonderful stupid self.
I pat you.
Yeah, no, this is hilarious. Laura's gonna be like, look back down and like smile, but have like the like slightly confused eyebrow look, and be like, Yeah, no, I'm. Did you say you were cursed too? Like, yeah, no, I'm cursed." Like looking like he's not used to saying it.
Porridge shakes their head rapidly.
No, 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 no. The porridge unit is not cursed. The porridge unit is not cursed. The, the porridge unit is the porridge unit is functional. However, the name Lord
And they bonk you on the head.
is cursed. Hmm.
Did they just say contradictory, like the porridge unit is cursed, the porridge isn't cursed?
No, they said the porridge unit isn't cursed twice.
Okay. Laura just kind of like closes his eyes at the bonk and then like opens them like a little confused, like, uh, so you're not cursed? Okay. Yeah, no, I'm cursed. Who? You said two. Who else is cursed?
Porridge pauses. And hmm. Let's see. Cool. You'd have to roll perception here. Porridge just kind of tilts their head, looks away. Very, very clearly hiding something. As they say,
No one.
Laura just kind of smiles, like, okay, like knowing that they don't want to say. Um, Sorry, writing down a note. uh,
cool.
does uh, does Porridge want to ask any further questions about the curse? Because Laura's just gonna be like, all right, that's okay.
Um, I feel like they would. But I am going to admit, I'm not sure how they would phrase it. I think they would just kind of go through an itinerary list of like, not even affected by this curse.
Just like details,
Do you know?
details.
Yes, essentially. Give me the deeds.
Okay, so Laura's just gonna smile and be like eyes closed, happy smile, just like okay, like he's already told like two other people, like three other people. I think this, yeah, no, definitely told Professor. I think he just forgot to mention the I thing to the Professor. um, but Azumi and Camille already know, so Laura's just kind of like, he's just like, yeah, so for whatever reason, he like pauses and stares for a long time. And do you want to make I guess a wisdom save? That's a wisdom save for intimidation, right?
Yes. What's your wisdom? I rolled it earlier, but what is it? Yeah, that's what I thought it was. It's an 18.
Okay, let me double check a thing. I gotta roll two. There's reasons for why it's like this.
Mhm.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, you got an 18. I got a 19. Okay. How would Porridge react to suddenly like knowing that Lore isn't the scary one per se, but like also just suddenly being very scared?
Oh, okay. Okay. Give me a second. God. Oh gosh. Hmm. Well, firstly, Law, you immediately feel the fluffy teddy bear aesthetic disappear. Um, and you see. I think this actually kind of works, at least thematically, because as you look Porridge in the eye, and you see that 99, but the 90's gone to 99 now as you've been talking, and just as you look them in the eye, you see that ding, 100% load up in their eye, and you hear a system update completed. And as that sounds out, you see Porridge stiffen, turn around, and you're gonna hear them speak. Just a second, I've got to figure out what they're gonna say. I'm gonna look around. By the way, are we in an alleyway or are we still just like on the side of the street?
Laura's still kind of like leaning against the wall.
Oh, fun. Okay. You're just gonna see Porridge look around, and you're gonna hear them not shout, but you're gonna hear like a blaring, loud declaration of
Maybe identify yourself.
Laura's just gonna sweat and close his eyes like, no, it's okay, Porridge. Sorry. Forgot to mention about the eye thing. It can make people afraid sometimes. They got kind of stained with like a fear ink. It's okay. No enemy. No enemy. Like kind of lets Porridge hover and like puts his arms up like surrendering. Like you're good.
hmm. Okay. Close your eyes so you're not going to notice this. Okay.
Yeah, Porridge can do whatever they need to. I'm having fun.
Okay. You're just gonna. Let me just roll something. I need to roll a few things quickly because we are coming up to about 2 hour-ish mark, and let me just see.
I didn't see anybody after us on the FPSs so far, but I'll double check. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else until 7 p.m., but I also know that you might need to go, so whatever you would like.
Okay. Sorry, give me a second. Gosh, blimey. Right. Okay, you're not gonna see anything, but it's gonna be quiet for a little bit, and then you're going to hear a voice call out.
There's not any okay, that's okay. There isn't any enemies around. Okay, yeah, I know that. I know that. That's fine. Are you okay?
Laura kind of takes note of the more casual tone and perks up and like his eyes are fine now, but he's like, no, I'm okay. I'm sorry for startling you. Yeah, no, I can see why you would think there's enemies if you're suddenly frightened. You kind of changed how you're talking. You good?
Can you roll me a perception quickly, please?
Yeah.
This is I make Katie roll perception the game.
Yeah, no, oh, it's a 9, so.
No. You don't notice this little detail then. You're gonna see Porridge tilt their head to the side and just kind of like,
yeah, I'm fine. It's just how I talk. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what made that happen, but oh, you said is it something you do? Was that you?
Yeah, that was. Laura kind of takes note of like Porridge isn't aware what's going on with the voice thing, and just kind of keeps that in mind. Like, oh, I guess that's what the update was, like kind of mentally, and is just like, well, I mean, I'm not necessarily doing it intentionally, but it is something I do.
and Porridge just kind of nods. Their little numbs are kind of having lax from their body as they they start to like drift away down the street, looking back at you, and kind of wave a little nub and on as they continue. Um, they're gonna call back.
Yeah, no, I get that. That happens sometimes. That happens. Uh, sometimes you do things that you can't control. You can always work on making that better. Or, find a way around it. There's always ways around things.
Laura's just kind of gonna raise an eyebrow because suddenly this robot's being a lot more emotionally intelligent. And it's just like, yeah, no, I agree. Like, squint. Like, did that update of yours fix any of your maintenance issues?
Okay?
You're gonna see their kind of head swivel around to look at you. Um, head to the side, and just kind of. I'm gonna do this quickly. Well, you're gonna see the little light come up in their eye, circle around again. Then you're gonna see an X form in their eye, and they just shake their head and say,
I've got no records on file of like an update, but um, I don't know. I guess I'll scroll through the logs later on, just to see what's going on. But I guess thank you for that. Sorry. Who are you?
Laura looks kind of sad, like, oh, you should probably know this porridge. We met in that bookshop. Apparently it just kind of appeared. We met there. You seemed to be kind of on the fritz. You kind of scanned this grimoire. You started to update, and now we're here. Do you still have my user profile or whatever you said it was?
"Gosh, um, you can roll an insight if you want."
Yeah, sure. Don't worry, I like rolling. I'm more of like, oh, Laura, buddy, please. No, it's a 11.
Oh, that's an 11. That actually gets through. That +5 was for the history. So you clearly see them freeze and look at you and say,
Oh, they,
and they tilt their head to the side and kind of like,
there are, I think there are, and, sorry, I don't have access to that stuff. It's still loading up, on my part, but, I guess, your profile, let's see your profile.
and they just seem to like, you see the nubbin kind of like twitch in the air like they're swiping at something, like, you, you.
Laura kind
For
of
the
smiles at that.
before the eyes light up and say,
Oh, right, oh, okay, you're a new user, right? Lore? Is that it? You're Lore, right?
Yeah, my name is Lore. Full name Lorem Quire Parif, and he smiles.
Hey, it's cool to meet you. Uh,
um, and Porridge seems to, after having looked up your profile, just seems to stop, and nubbins start to kind of like twiddle together a little bit. They look a little awkward. They just kind of look around and say,
okay, so, I don't, where are you going? Where are we going, I guess?
Oh, don't worry. We were just kind of walking around and chatting. Uh, do you, he kind of thinks, what do you remember about me so that I can fill you in?
goodness. Gosh. Gosh. Okay. You're gonna see them look slightly past your shoulder, Law, and they seem to be squinting. It looks like they're thinking very, very hard. Um, and they just nod and say,
Yeah, you're Lore. You came from Ordinal Point. Your family, I think, no. your family works with like printers and stuff and ink. And mm, and you have you have the eye issue.
And they just kind of reach up and ding ding tink against their eye.
What else? What else did there?
Um, they just kind of again they just twiddled their nubbins together before looking at you and saying,
Yeah, like you're cursed. That's what I got. Yep.
Laura's gonna smile and finger gun at them. He's like, I'm cursed to be forever lost.
Oh, oh yeah, that thing.
there's no deception. You're just gonna see like the antenna on Porridge's head just kind of flops down, and they cast their eyes to the ground. It's just
Oh, yeah, you're lost, huh?
Yeah, no, it's all. I mean, it's all right. You offered help, but like, it was kind of a bit of a not argument, but I was trying to convince you of something, and you got kind of caught in like a logic loop. But like, I mean, we didn't meet that long ago, so like, as long as you're good to still be friends, we can work on uh, hmm, work on getting to know each other again.
Yeah, but I yeah, I definitely yeah, that sounds like something I would do.
um, Porridge laughs and
Yeah, I like to help people. It's kind of fun. It's good. It's what I like to do. Like my um admin made me to help people, you know. So it's cool to help out. If you want me to help out,
You can decide whichever one you want to do. We can keep walking around and hanging out, but I will warn you, we might get very lost. He smiles.
well, I mean, I have an inbuilt GPS. Let me guess.
and I'm gonna just
That's a three.
Level knows what GPS is. But
Nope.
gosh, you're gonna see you're gonna see another message pop up in front of you, Law, and it looks like a map, but it's just you can't make heads or tails of this stuff.
Yeah, he
It's
looks at the map and just kind of sighs, disappointed, like, yeah, okay, like in his brain, like, yeah, that makes sense, can't see it, read it, or anything.
it's just like there's two blinking dots, which you can probably guess are you and Porridge. But the the words at the top of the screen don't make sense, and wherever you are on that map is definitely not Villestown because it seems to say that you're like underwater, like 90 meters underwater.
Laura just kind of perks up, but like looks confused, and then looks at the screen map thing, and then back at Porridge like a million times, and is like, "Are we underwater?"
I mean, what do you mean underwater? No.
And Porridge flies over and they look at the screen and they squint and say,
Oh, oh, come on! I just fixed this thing.
Oh,
GPS unit's broken again.
no, 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 no.
Uh,
Laura like waves his hands, like, "No, no, 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 no. It's probably me."
no. We're not underwater. This.
and they like bonk a knobbin on the side of the message, which ripples a little bit with hard blue light before settling again.
This should display our location, me and you,
They point to themselves and then to you in the back of the map.
and then the surroundings should be, like buildings, and then the sidewalk, and then the road. Um, set on the water, not on the water.
Laura's like,
Great.
"No, Porridge. Remember, I'm cursed to be lost, and anybody who tries to help me find things, is gonna automatically have some issues. So I don't think your GPS is broken so much as my curse is messing with you."
Mm,
Uh, don't seem very certain about that, but they just dismiss it with like a agitated hand wave of the nubbin. And they're like,
fine, okay, I guess we're doing this the old-fashioned way. Gonna have to. Oh man, we're gonna have to look at street signs.
and Porridge just kind of floats very slowly towards the ground, until their whole body is horizontal with the pavement, and their snoot is just like an inch away from touching the floor. They're just floating there, T-posing.
Laura picks him up and kind of holds him like, well, I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. At least we can kind of still navigate, and you can help me distinguish if there's any color problems. Is there someone, is there somewhere you would like to try to go? Uh, good luck finding it with me, but we can try.
Well,
And they just kind of tilt their head to the side and think.
mean, me, I guess.
And I'm gonna roll this one with advantage because they're gonna use a different thing here.
That's fine.
So that's 20. Excellent. You see their radar just kind of their radar. You're gonna see their antenna just kind of do little swirls, like slow beep 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 swirls in the air, and you're gonna see Porridge's head just slowly turn towards that direction, and you're gonna hear you're gonna continue on saying,
Um, well, uh, there's there's a thing, there is a thing that I kind of looked at a while ago, and I, I need, I need to find these, weird little anomalies that keep popping up, and then you can help me find this one. It's that way.
and they point with one of their nubbins direction.
Laura kind of nods, like, okay, well, I do seem to so far also run into crazy things, so maybe I can help you, but, if you're gonna try find, I guess Laura kind of looks down thinking and, like, then looks up thinking, and then, like, squints his eyes and looks to the side thinking, and then looks back down and at Porridge with, like, still squinted eyes but a raised eyebrow, like he's, like, not sure about what he's saying. He's like, well, I guess if I'm not actively trying to find it for my own purposes, it should work. So, I mean, we can try.
Oh, great. Okay, then let's go.
And you're just going to see the three nubbins start to float in front of the central body in a triangular pattern, and they're now forming an arrow. So essentially, you know those games where you have like an arrow pointing in the direction you need to go?
And you just follow it.
Essentially that, yes. Got that
Awesome.
here in here.
Laura's definitely gonna just do that.
And I did roll a nat 20 on the survival. You can roll if you want. Um,
I
but
can try rolling, but honestly, like, if Laura's not intentionally trying to find something, it should be okay. The main thing is that this curse is just a big jerk and just messes with Laura specifically. Like, but here, let me just see really quick what it would be out of curiosity. I don't even think I have good survival. Where's my survival? Yeah, yeah, that's based off of wisdom. Um, so that's just straight 20, and yeah, no, you're fine.
decent. Okay. So usually you would probably get lost doing this sort of stuff, but because you're not actually doing the looking for thing and you are following a person looking for a thing, maybe the curse just kind of like, I don't know, waves. It does a hand wave this one occasion, and you follow the arrow forward, and you follow it to uh, follow it, and you stop. Um, you stop in front of you stop back in front of the shop you first arrived in.
Laura looks like his eyebrows crease, and he's turns to Porridge, and he's like, "Hey, Porridge, this is where we met. How is it over here?"
Oh, it's I kind of picked up on the spatial and magical part of it.
And Porridge is just gonna very slightly wiggle out of your arms, Law.
That's totally fine. He's gonna let him go. Gotta let them go. Bleh, words.
You're cool. If you mix up like pronouns, it's fine. I do that sometimes with my other characters. You're good. Um,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
you're good, man. I bet you. Yeah, but Porridge is gonna like float to the front door. They're not gonna look inside. They're just gonna stare at like the front, the pretty normal ass front door. It's painted like a dull brown, pretty normal. Let's just squint and say,
Um, so I got an inbuilt magic uh uh time and space weirdness detector.
Oh, like kind of like a magic metal detector.
Uh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, kind of like that. This thing kind kind of jumps around a lot. Um, so I just thought, be nice to plug in and make sure I could find it again.
Yeah, I'll go back in with you. This is where you found that grimoire.
Oh, okay. Okay.
and Porridge is gonna look at you, Law, and then look at the door,
Laura
and
opens
then
the door for him, for them.
Porridge is gonna just
Oh, you didn't have to. Oh, okay. Thank
Laura's
you.
like, I
and
also have manners. You're fine.
I mean, I'm the robot here, so
I mean,
I
I can
should
still open
really.
the. Hey, hey. Laura like looks at him and just tries to cut him off. Like, just let me do this.
as you look at Porridge, they do seem to kind of stutter over the word robot as they float through. Um, but yeah, no, they float through as you open the door for them.
Laura falls back in and is also like kind of basic. He knows what robots are, but he's also
Hmm?
never met like a toon robot before. So he's like, "Hey, Porridge, what does it mean to be a toon robot?"
Uh, gosh, damn. Okay. So what was that? That should have been a +1, not a minus. Oops. Wonderful.
Did you do that?
That's a nat one on deception. Beautiful. Porridge kind of just freezes. Then
Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's
and Porridge is. It's very clear Porridge does not want to answer that question, and they are just
Yeah.
frantically looking around the shop.
Laura's
The
eyes
deception.
twitching like crap. I broke him again.
Um, they're doing like the anime back of the head rub, and the deception was more like distraction. They completely failed at that. It's so clear there is something up with that toon robot thing you just mentioned, and they're gonna head over. They're gonna head over to gosh, they're just gonna like blindly. Let's roll D2. Where are they gonna head? Oh, good. They're gonna head over to the side that has the abacus again. Um, and they're just gonna. What am I gonna save? Not pretty. They just pick up the abacus, which is still clacking away. Did you want to roll me a perception, actually?
Definitely. Also, I can say that Laura's gonna wander over and definitely look at the abacus again because he doesn't realize there's anything up with it because he immediately forgot it was cursed or something.
Oh my gosh. Roll
um,
another whiz save, mate.
yeah, I'll do a win save instead. That's just another net. I mean, not nat 20, just a normal d20. Yep, yeah, that's a 15. What is it with
Okay.
the 15s?
Don't know, man. 15's your number. Um, no, you feel like a slight twinge, like a part of you wants to reach out, but you shake that away very quickly. As you look at this strange clackety clackety thing. and you're gonna see Porridge just kind of squint at it, and they just nod their head and say,
Yeah, so this thing is enchanted. It was initially enchanted to aid with counting stuff. Um, but yeah, it's hella cursed now. Instead of helping you count, I think what happens is if you like pick it up, um, you get pulled into the magic. It makes you it makes you pull the beads, and you can't stop. I've
Laura
seen
looks. Sorry, you keep going.
they're just gonna say,
I've seen stuff like this before.
Laura looks at the thing kind of like super like startled, scared, nervous, just ooh, don't touch that, takes a step back, like maybe gently pulls Porridge a little way away from it. And is like, does that I guess are you seen when you are moving the beads? Is someone moving them right now? It looks like
Oh,
super
no, no,
nervous.
no, no. No, 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 no.
and they just kind of do like little hand wave, little nubbing wave in front of their body and shake their head rapidly.
No, 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 no. It's not being moved. Like, there's no one there now. It moves by itself. Um, it moves by itself, until it smacks someone to move at its pace. It's, um, I don't know. I don't know why someone would enchant an abacus to do that, but it's kind of mean, also kind of funny. I mean, so long as you can cast Dispel Curse on it.
Laura kind of looks upset that somebody would do that and like kind of not so much glares at the abacus, but looks just really, really upset that it exists. And is like, why would someone want to do that?
I mean,
Porridge looks back at the abacus and then back at you and says,
I mean, people can be mean sometimes, and I mean, they don't mean to be mean, but it's, it, what's a joke to them, could be not so nice to you.
Laura kind of. He looks like he heard Porridge, but he hasn't moved his eyes from looking upset at this abacus. And it kind of grows a little bit more angry, but he catches himself and he's like, still looks at the abacus. Is there any way that we can get rid of this thing?
Oh,
I'm gonna roll a with save again. Written reason now. Hey, a 9. Cool. They think for a little bit, tap their snoot, and say,
oh, well, I've actually got a way around that.
and gosh, you want to roll a quick insight?
Yes. I'm just so nervous. What are they gonna do? Laura, please. No, it's a 3.
Oh, buddy, you're not gonna see this coming then, are you?
No.
They're just gonna turn around towards the shelf, and you're gonna see the 3 nubbins kind of form together into like a triangular motion and then start slowly rotating in front of Porridge, getting faster and faster and faster. And Porridge is gonna cast Chromatic Orb. Oh, give me just a moment.
Laura's eyes go wide, and he kind of not smile maniacally, but he is definitely gonna be like, hell yeah.
Right, sorry. Right, yeah, so they're gonna cast Chromatic Orb on this thing. And I am going to choose, what damage? I'm gonna choose fire damage for this one. And because of that, well, I actually get a +7 to my. No?
Oh.
Oh dear.
How the
Oh,
oh my gosh. That's a
yeah,
9. That's just
9.
mean,
That's a
dice
9.
parser.
So, porridge. Porridge just freaking whacks a chromatic orb out, and it it does hit the abacus. However, with a 9, it was kind of a wild, charged, charged shot. I'm just gonna roll damage to see how much of this, how much damage they do. Um, I need another one there. Oh, they do, they do 11 damage, which is definitely enough. Actually, you know what? 11 damage. It's not enough to destroy the abacus. Uh, Most of the beads have been burnt away, but there are still some like slowly clack, 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 clacking. Whatever the hell, whoever the hell cursed this thing seems to have a real grudge.
I
Because
guess
the abacus is still standing.
I'm just imagining
However,
somebody who hates math, like, ha!
gosh. But yeah, the fireball does envelop the abacus. However, the abacus was on the shelf with some other things. And Lord, you do notice now, is the store's not the same layout as when you came in. Everything seems to be moved around. There are a few things that stay the same. Like you recognize there's the scales underneath the abacus that get a little singed and again knocked over on their shelf. Then you look around and you see the bookcase has been moved to the back of the room. And now to your right is where the counter and the door are. Um, and the table with all the knickknacks and stuff has kind of been shoved a little closer to the left side of the room. And yeah, there's a bit of fiery overspray. And oh, that looks like a scroll that seems to have caught fire.
Laura's just gonna kind of raise an eyebrow and be like, internally, like, well, this is a magic shop. That kind of sucks, but I don't want to get burned. But I am gonna try to wander over and maybe put that out really quick. But before he does that, he actually pulls himself away from that thought because as much as it pains him that the scroll is burning, he looks back at the abacus and he looks at porridge and is like, how much more do you think? He kind of like looks back at it and he's like, if I touch this thing, am I still gonna get cursed?
Oh, yeah, probably. Hella cursed.
If I touch it wearing something, am I gonna get cursed?
I mean, you got near it, and like, thing is, it's a proximity thing, I think. Like, you feel that. Did you feel like a tug earlier?
Oh, yeah, that thing. Lore kind of takes off his like little over jacket thingy bobber, wraps it around his head, and he's gonna try to smash the rest of it.
So he
So
wraps it around his head?
around his hand, so he's not gonna make
Oh,
skin contact with it. He's just gonna smash
okay.
it. So I gotta roll for unarmed strike.
Could you
Technically.
also, if you're getting close to it, roll me
Mhm.
another whiz save, please?
Oh, I will roll another with save. Laura just really wants this thing gone. Um, oh, buddy, please don't do the thing. 14. Crap.
14, you feel that tug again, a little stronger than last time, but you do manage to shake it off
Mhm.
as you rear your hand back and slam that baby down.
Yeah, I am excited. I have not been able to roll one of his actions yet, so I'm just like, please do well.
Yeah.
My baby is not moving.
It's a
It's a
static
13.
target.
That should hopefully be enough to just smash it.
mean, yeah, I hit it with a 9. You're directly punching this thing. It's not gonna
Yeah.
dodge, it's an
He's
abacus.
not even punching it. He's like bringing a fist down on it like a freaking gavel.
Absolutely, please do.
Just this expression of upset still on his face. You
I
still there?
mean,
Oh, there you are.
No, yeah, yeah, you can roll your damage. Or was that your damage?
Oh no, so unarmed strike is just always going to be a 6 damage.
Oh, okay. I was just like waiting for like, are you gonna roll
Oh
damage?
yeah, no, I
No,
just I just blanked because I was looking at it.
you're fine, I got you. Yeah, d6 of damage, you bring your hand down, and with a uh because shatters and breaks down.
Hmm.
Um
I will
I'm
say,
gonna
just for
roll.
more flavor, he hits it again one more time because he does have 2 attacks per per turn. So
Just
he's
the
just
bits and
gonna
pieces.
whap it twice and then just like pull his hand back and like glare at it one last time before smiling at Porridge, like, "Yeah, that should take care of that."
Oh, amazing. I just want to add a little bit, just for people listening. One of the beads flew off of this thing, not completely destroyed, and with a landed in one of the scales, specifically the one with the feather on it. The side with the heart um, suddenly lifts up and the feather shoots down. No, sorry, move that around. It lands in the side with the heart, and the feather side shoots up. And but when you do that, the bead actually bursts into it bursts into flames. Even more so than it was currently on fire. It's like green and purple and blue and orange and green and purple and blue and orange, and uh, it dissolves into a pile of ash. As the rest of the beads and the wooden board of the abacus dissolves into a pile of ash. Congratulations, you've beaten the abacus.
Yay! Oh gosh, Lori wants to look at that scale thing because he's like, okay, the human heart is creepy, but he is gonna look back at Porridge and be like, does this thing look enchanted too?
Porridge, meanwhile, has also noticed that the scroll was on fire. Let me see. What are you gonna do there, buddy?
Lore forgot about it.
I, yeah, no, you're totally valid law. Um, man, you can't actually do anything here, can you, buddy? Okay.
He can ask for
Just
help. Looks at Porridge.
okay. What you're gonna see as you turn around towards Porridge is they're kind of helplessly batting at this scroll, but every time they whap it, like it's like barely a thud. They're too light to actually be able to pat this thing out, and they look over at you, say,
Yeah, if you wanna just, do you know any, you don't know magic, okay?
Oh,
I might need to
Lore's
figure it
gonna
out.
actually just run over with his shirt still wrapped around his fist and just like smother it.
I just thought he's gonna punch it, punch
Gonna
the fire
punch the
out.
fire out.
Law can punch fire, Law can punch anything.
Lore can punch it all.
One punch Law. Oh gosh.
Yes, please.
Gosh, you punch, you boomf the fire out. The spells, whatever this scroll was, it's not terribly burnt, but if it was magical in any way, it's probably not anymore. Um, yeah, that's all sorted. And Porridge is just gonna kind of sit there and look at it a little sadly because, oh man, that was a potentially magic thing. Um, I will say, if you wanted to look at like the scales and stuff, you could do that. But
Hmm.
I'm just looking at time. I might need to wrap up a little bit soon.
Okay, we can start to try to wrap up. Laura is gonna look apologetically at the spell and then look back at Porridge and be like, you got that hammer space thing, right? Maybe you can hold on to it and see if somebody can do something about it?
Oh, yeah, I can, um, yeah, I can do that.
And I'm just gonna roll this. Yeah, so they pick it up, and you're gonna see one of their eyes go dark, and you're just gonna see Porridge slide the scroll into their eye, which looks a little weird, but you can hear a as it goes in, and they're just gonna ding ding shake their head side to side, look at you, and say,
Yeah, okay, that's gonna be organized. I mean, did you want more books, or?
they point over towards where the bookshelf has been moved to the other side of the room.
Laura looks at Porridge like a little kid. and just like keeps staring at him and points to the scales like, what is that?
Oh, that's.
Like a look in his eyes where he's like, I desperately want to know. He doesn't say it, but he's like, if his eyes could sparkle, they're sparkling because he's like, okay, this thing is weird and I want to know what it is.
Um, Porridge picks this scales up, like, well, no, they don't initially. They don't touch it. They kind of like squint and look at it around. And then you're gonna see the blue light come out of their eye again. You're gonna see the go over it, and Orange is gonna lean back and nod their heads and be like,
So that's interesting. Actually, it's um basically if you put something of evil alignment in the well, actually, it might also be neutral. If you put something of evil alignment or maybe neutral in the heart bit there,
and they just tap on the heart bit.
um, it will sink down and it will be destroyed. Um, if you put something good in there, I think that should tip up and put the feather down.
And they kind of move their nubbins up and down respectively for when they're talking about each section.
Um, I think think something happens. Like, I don't know, a spell or something. Don't know what, but yeah.
Laura kind of raises an eyebrow and he's like, how much can you fit in that hammer space of yours?
Um, they look at you and they look at that and they look at you.
Um, I mean,
And I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll this save here. No, why did you roll high? I'm gonna roll disadvantage because you're also very curious about this. That's better. 7. They look at you and they look at the scales and they just kind of nod and say,
well, there's no one here. So I guess we can just.
and they slowly reach out, looking around. There is still no one here, by the way. It is just you two. And Boris just reaches out, slowly takes the scales. I'm gonna roll another sleight of hand. Do you make any noise? Kind of like the scales kind of like tink, tink against the main stalk quietly.
Laura can try to assist if that helps with advantage.
You can if you want.
Yes, please, because Laura's like, I want this not to be here for other people.
There's a 19. Looks like it's about to clink, and then Law reaches out and pinches the 4 little chains that surround the bowls that keep the scale hanging up. Porridge very slowly just kind of shoo hooks that thing in the right and shakes the head. Like,
Okay, I can look at that later, or if you want, you can have it later. But now, did you want to get some more books?
Well, I mean, if there was another mystery, I am not afraid to pick that up, but I do. He remembers that he lost the grimoire. Ah, yeah, maybe one more book.
sorry. Porridge is gonna nod, and I'm gonna roll one last investigation here. 14. You can also roll investigation if you want.
Yeah, I would love to, because I also have a slightly better investigate. Please, Laura. My child, just this once. Okay. There we go. Oh, it's a 9. You mother. Ah.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll go 14. So it takes a little bit, but you do eventually find you find a nice book that Law would like. I'll let you choose whatever that would be, Katie.
Yay! It would be like some sort of not necessarily a murder mystery, but a really good mystery. one that he hasn't seen before. It doesn't have to be a first edition. It's a lot in better condition, still like ragged and whatnot, but like at least readable and not gonna immediately fall apart. And he smiles at Porridge like, "Oh, this is great, thank you."
Porridge just nods back and says,
You're welcome. Yeah, so I guess if you want,
and they kind of gesture outside.
I can take you home now if you want.
Laura kind of smiles nervously, like the curse thing. But yeah, I
Oh,
think.
right. No, not home.
They kind of hastily backpedal.
Not like home, but like, wherever you're staying right now.
Laura looks away, like, yeah. Kind of remembers that Camille probably gave him a key, but he doesn't remember the address, and he's like, "Do you know where?" Like nervously, "Do you know where Camille Christie lives?"
Mm, well, no, but I can look it up.
I don't know if we'll be able to find it, but we can definitely try.
That's a dirty 20. Guess the GPS is online and awake right now because basically Porridge steps outside. The antenna kind of whoop 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 like a radar, and again their arrows point in the direction that they need to go. Look back at you and say,
Yeah, well, I found Camille Christie, and I got their location, so let's go, I guess.
Lord looks up like, wait, his house, or he like squints like questioning.
Oh, no, it's in its public files, his residence.
One moment.
good. Oh, goodness gracious. This has been good fun. It's been very, very good fun. I hope people listening are enjoying this. I am enjoying this. But also, I apologise if you don't understand what I'm saying as porridge. I very
Oh, no, sorry. I had the person. So I live in a college housing, so we have clean checks, and so the person was just making sure our room wasn't awful. They're really nice. I love them. Anyway, our room is clean. Don't worry. So oh shoot, where were we? The home. Yes. Laura's just gonna be like, okay. Yeah. No, if you could help me find, are we in Phil's it doesn't matter. Yeah, no, I would love help trying to get there if you do meet Camille for any reason. And Laura kind of takes out a piece of paper and writes his full name on it and hands it to Porridge. For whatever reason, if you write my full name on a letter, it always finds me. Do you have a full name, or are you just Porridge?
hmm. Cool. Porridge just shakes the head and says,
No, yeah, I'm just porridge. Ain't got no other, I've not got any other, names.
Alright, I just wanted to check because if I write your full name on a letter, then or at least your name, I don't. Maybe I should test that. He looks off to the side. Um, but if I write your name on a letter, it should be able to find you so we can communicate that way. But if you find Camille Christie, and please let me know. You said you knew the head detective Moria, and he laughs. You called Azumi a zoom meter, right? But
yes, Azumi there.
yeah, no, Lore says that to Porridge. Like,
Oh,
and he's like, I know them too. Well, I don't know Detective Moria, but I know that Detective Moria knows them. He like is gesturing with his hands confusedly, like trying to remember the connections. And he's like, so, I don't know. If you could let me know if you find him, that would be great. I'm a little worried about him.
uh, I imagine this is the conversation they're having as they're walking along, and Porridge kind of calls back.
Why are you worried? Aren't they at home? If this is who you're staying with, right?
Well, no, I'm staying with them. Yeah, I just also haven't seen them in a little while, and I'm just a little concerned. They do work on things. He like looks up, not sure if he's supposed to say if he's a kid detective or not, but like remembers that like Camille always introduces him as himself as like a kid detective, and he's like, they're like a kid detective, so like they might be on a case. I'm not sure. So I'm just not sure. I would like to know where he is and if he's okay.
Porridge just kind of slowly nods and says,
Oh, right. They're a kid. Um, okay. I'm not gonna ask why you're staying with a kid, but okay.
We're
I'll stay.
friends, so it's like Laura quickly's like, we're friends. It's okay.
Okay.
No,
Guess.
I got it, it's okay. Like Azumi, like he's just like waving his hands, like Azumi also checked in. Like there was other adults. Like it's okay. like,
Porridge kind of looks over their shoulder and just briefly squints at you before kind of giving like a sort of fond shake of their head and like,
Yeah, no, I believe you, Lore. Like, you're not a bad guy. You're fine.
Laura takes like a comically deep like sigh and breath of relief, like shoulders up and then like like okay, good.
I would say it's kind of at this point that we get to wherever Camille is staying. I don't remember if it's an apartment or if it's a
It's an apartment.
it's an apartment.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Porridge just kind of stops outside the building and looks at Laura and says,
I'm not gonna head inside, but
Oh yeah, no, that
eventually,
makes sense.
um, if I hear anything, I guess I'll let you know. But
Yeah.
um, I'll keep a lookout for kid detectives, I guess.
Yeah. Camille Christie and Laura bends down really far and he's about this tall, has a hat, red hair, glasses, little bow tie, little lad, you know? Laura smiles really fondly. Honestly, he's a pretty cute kid. But don't let that fool you. He'll Laura raises like a kind of teasing eyebrow. He's very good at figuring out things about you. I mean, he is a detective, so keep that in mind. But I hope to see you again soon. And Laura kind of reaches out to, like, just sneaks another hug from Porridge.
um, give Porridge a hug, and Porridge kind of pauses, um, but quite a little bit before they reach back, and you just feel like two thump thumps on your back. Um, and if you pull away, you can kind of see Porridge is looking away, um, up at the apartment building, presumably the window that leads to Camille's apartment. Just
And figuring things out about you, huh? I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Lore. But yeah, you get home. Make sure you eat something and yeah, be safe, okay?
Laura does the smile and rub the back of his head too, and he's like, "I'll be sure to eat something, and thanks for helping me find this place again." And Porridge, if there's something you don't want the kid to know, maybe, he is quite tricky. So if you see him from afar, just Laura smiles softly. Be careful if you approach, and you can just let me know if you found him. There's certain things you don't want people to know.
mm, Porridge kind of, and then looks back up. And you see them give a little sparkly wink with one of their eyes. A little spark shoots out the corner of their eye. Very, very anime-esque, as they say.
Oh, don't worry about me being seen. I'm really good at not being seen.
And Law, right before your eyes, you see Porridge shimmer quickly before they vanish. Because they have just cast invisibility.
Lord just laughs, but also like closes his eyes, blinks, rubs them for a second, making sure it's not like a color thing. And he's like, "Whew, okay. If you can hear me, good to know. Bye, Porridge." And kind of like waves to nothing before like thinking about it and stopping, and heads back in to, I guess, crash at Camille's apartment again and hope he comes home.
before you leave, you feel something like scruff the top of your hair. Um, and yeah, that's it. That's what
Yeah,
you get.
I love the idea. Like he is wearing his hat, so like just something like tipping his hat off or something.
Oh gosh, his hat just tips forward over his eyes very, very quickly before you're here. Uh, as porridge seems to just float away, presumably.
That's so cute. Yeah, the end.
Gosh, this was very fun. Thank you for playing with me. I'm sorry if I'm like yawned a lot during this.
No, you're fine. Every time I was muted in between, but every time you've yawned, I've yawned too.
God.
Because, yeah, yawns, contagious, apparently across continents. Wonderful. Uh, Brain stopped. How do we end again?
Well, I typically just say thank you to people listening. I didn't have
Awesome.
anyone listening live this time,
Mhm.
but to people listening in the future, thank you for listening. I now have information on various things, and information has been slightly revealed about certain things on both sides. But yeah, this is fun, Casey. Thank you for playing with me, man.
Thank you for playing with me too. And,
Hold your law boy soft.
sorry, what?
Hold your law boy soft.
Oh, I hold porridge soft. They were great. Have a good time zone. I'm gonna stop the recording.
Same.